What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to hop on camera really quick and talk about and kind of give you guys my thoughts on the latest Resident Evil film, Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, if you guys are not aware, Welcome to Raccoon City is supposed to be a movie reboot for the Resident Evil franchise. I know Resident Evil has a long-running movie series that came out, like, I think in the early 2000s. I kind of remember those movies when I was a kid, but I never watched them. I just remember seeing trailers for it, and people always going out to see those movies when they came out, despite the mixed reviews those movies got. I never watched the original Resident Evil movie series. I hear it was so different from the games that I just really take interest. But right now we're living in a time to where video game movies are kind of finding their footing. You know, you have movies like Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog, you had Uncharted coming out. You have now the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. So I think that a lot of studios are kind of finding their footing with video game related movies and media, and I think that's pretty cool to see. But Welcome to Raccoon City, this was a movie that I saw the trailer for this year and didn't really have many thoughts about it initially. I know when the trailer came out, a lot of people that I know said they weren't looking forward to it because to them it looked kind of corny, or it just wasn't something they was looking forward to. But with me, I was optimistic about it. I typically am really good about separating, the original media from, movies and things like that. So I guess my standards were not that high for this. And also, when it comes to the Resident Evil franchise, I'm really in and out with it. Like, I played Resident Evil 4 and 5, a little bit of 6, 7, Biohazard, and of course 8. So I wouldn't consider myself a die-hard Resident Evil person, but I just came in from the theater just now, so I'm here talking about this, and I just want to kind of give you guys my thoughts about what's going on. So, number one, what did I like about this movie? Well, I guess we should cover kind of the plot. If you played Resident Evil 1 and 2, that is essentially what this plot of the movie is kind of summarizing. Now, of course, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who has not seen the movie, but essentially we're introduced to Chris and Claire as kids, in the Umbrella facility or whatnot. And we kind of get a glimpse into their life prior to them becoming adults. So fast forward to, I believe, 1998 in Raccoon City. We have the virus that spread widespread amongst the city. The Umbrella Corporation wants to get out of Raccoon City for obvious reasons and build up shop somewhere else. But they're leaving the residents there to kind of deal with the problem that they created, in a nutshell. Like I said, I don't want to spoil too much. I mean, if you play Resident Evil 1 or 2, you kind of know how the story is going to play out. But yeah, that's essentially the story of the movie. We have like this crazy virus that's spreading across this city, and, it's up to the Raccoon City police force and Claire and Chris to, kind of somewhat fix the issue. So in terms of what I liked about this movie, number one, I love the environment and I love the atmosphere. I feel like, in terms of cinematography and the way the movie looked and felt, especially in the movie theater, I like how the movie looked and felt. It definitely kind of gave off that Resident Evil vibe, classic Resident Evil vibe. The tension was definitely there. There were a lot of scenes that were, just had me kind of jumping in the movie theater, and it was a fun ride, man. I definitely thought that they did a great job with kind of capturing the spirit of the original video game. So if you're going in as a diehard Resident Evil fan, or you played, Resident Evil 1 and 2, and you're big fans of classic RE, I think there's a lot here that you're going to appreciate, especially with the different Easter eggs that they drop here and there throughout the movie. Again, this is a no spoilers review, so I'm not going to say what those Easter eggs are, but they do reference a lot of things from the classic games, and I thought that was pretty cool for them to do. Number two, I like the costume design. I know one thing a lot of people said is in the trailer, they did not like how the zombies looked. They thought everything looked kind of cheesy. I thought once you kind of see the final product in theater, I thought it looked pretty good. I thought the special effects were decent. I know this is not like this huge high budget movie. I think the budget for this movie was like 40, 50 million or something like that. But I thought the movie looked great. I loved the seeing like the infected dog, and I like seeing like some of the zombies and even some of the effects that they did. Like, again, I don't want to give away too much, but I thought the special effects were pretty cool. I didn't really have an issue with that. The next thing I liked was the casting. I'm going to put the name of the actors and actresses in the description down below, but I thought the cast was pretty well done. I didn't have any issues with Jill or Chris and Claire, and the only one I was kind of iffy on was Leon, but I think his character will grow on me. Him playing the rookie cop in this movie, it definitely gave a lot of laugh out loud moments and a lot of moments that was kind of memorable in the movie. But I thought the cast overall, they had good chemistry, and I think as the series goes on, because at the end of the movie there is a post-credit scene. I'm not going to spoil exactly what it is, but they do reveal essentially confirming that there's going to be a continuation or another movie after this. So like I said, I like how the characters and the chemistry between the characters and the actors and actresses went. I thought, you could tell they had a lot of fun filming this, and it's always great to see actors and actresses have fun while you're watching the movie in the crowd. But overall, my mind is so scattered right now because I'm just now walking in the house. I'm still dressed and everything, but I just want to hop on camera before I lose these thoughts on the movie itself. Now, some things I did not really care for. Some of the dialogue was kind of and I know this is supposed to take place in like the late 90s. So I get it. And plus the games themselves, if you played the original Resident Evil, the dialogue wasn't the best either. So I guess that may be a homage to that, but some of the lines that they said were just all like shaking my head. And also some of the scenes, I know it's supposed to be a very fun, almost campy movie, but some of the scenes were just purely ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to spoil too much, but there's a certain scene when Leon has a rocket launcher in very close proximity to everybody else in that particular scene, shoots the rocket launcher, and everybody walks out just okay. Like, I thought that I was in the theater with my friend. We was watching this movie, and I just laughed out loud because that scene was so ridiculous. And there was a lot of scenes like that. Like, again, there was this other scene with the police chief. He was in the garage, and there was like this infected dog, and the dog was kind of chasing him around the garage, and he just shooting his gun all over the place, screaming and yelling. And I thought that scene was pretty funny. So scenes that were not necessarily meant to be comical ended up kind of funny because how ridiculous it was. But overall, though, like, I think Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City was a decent movie. Kind of going, like I said, just kind of looking at where video games movies kind of started and where they are now. I think that we're kind of getting a nice strive and some good video game movies here. Should you go see it? I think the movie was fun. I watched it in the theaters. I had a fun time throughout. There was never a point to where I felt uninterested or bored. So I guess in that respect, the movie did its job. I did think it was weird the movie released on a Tuesday opposed to the weekend. And I also thought it was kind of weird to release around Thanksgiving opposed to Halloween. That could have been due to, COVID-related, delays or whatnot, but I thought that was kind of strange. I thought this movie definitely would have fared better if it would have released in October opposed to November. But overall, Resident Evil Raccoon City, I just want to hop on and give my first impressions. I don't even know if I want to call this a full-on review, but fresh out the theater, my first impressions of this movie is, if you're a Resident Evil fan, if you're looking for something to do on like a weekday or you have some downtime, go see this movie. I wouldn't say necessarily pay full premium price, but for a movie like this, I thought it was fun to go out and see with friends. And I think general audiences will like it. If you're a diehard Resident Evil fan, you may be a little mixed on some of the scenes or whatnot, or some of the execution. But I think overall, everybody's gonna, I think for the most part, people are gonna really enjoy this movie. I think right now, Rotten Tomatoes, when I looked on the way back home, I was in an Uber and I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score, it's like 50%. So it looks like people kind of split down the middle with this one, but I had a good time watching it. I don't feel comfortable giving it necessarily a rating, but I will say, based on my enjoyment in the theater with it and being able to connect with friends and watch this, I think it's an entertaining watch. So if you have the opportunity to watch it in the theater, maybe at a discount, or if you want to wait till it comes on Netflix or whatever streaming service it lands on, I'll do that. But I say give it a watch, man. I think you'll find a lot of enjoyment here. With that said, guys, I'm going to get out of these clothes. I'm going to change. I'm going to work on some other stuff. I will see you guys next time. All right. If you went to go see the movie yourself, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. Again, this is just my first impressions video. I don't know if I'm even going to consider this a review, but I just want to hop on camera and kind of talk about, my thoughts on Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. All right. Well, guys, I will see you guys next time. I know it's been a while since you guys see my face on camera, but I am still here working as always. All right. Well, with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.